Welcome and good evening. Welcome to People's EC. I'm Pastor Mike. Before we get started with the service tonight, just a couple of quick announcements to make. One is coming up in a few weeks, it's our Family Promise Week. So just want to make sure that everyone knows that the sign-up sheet is back on the table back there. One important note about this weekend coming up is we do have the Children's Easter Party tomorrow at 1 o'clock. It'll be over in the Fellowship Hall. And then on Sunday morning, we'll have an additional service. It'll be at 6:45. It'll be out at the pavilion, weather permitting. So after that service, we'll have a time of coffee and donuts. And that the outside sunrise service, it'll be a little bit different than the other services in the morning. So if you do come out for it, be sure to stick around for some fellowship, and then catch the 8:30 service as well. There's some things that we're doing in the 8:30 service that we can't do outside in the pavilion, so I think it'll be really neat. So tonight we are doing a special service. This is a more of a contemporary Tenebrae service. It's a service of mourning, a service of the shadows. So we're going to be going through a program this evening that Paul and I have been working on. This was originally a cantata, and we've customized it into more of a worship service. So there's going to be parts of this that we sing along with. There's going to be parts where we watch a video. There's narration. So I hope you enjoy it. At the end of the service, there will be a time for us to leave in silence, leave the grounds in silence, the property in silence, as Paul finishes the last song. And as he does that, we'll turn on the light in the back and the side light here, so we have some light to leave the sanctuary. And then I will head on out after that last song, and we'll leave in silence, and we'll see each other again Sunday morning for a time of celebration.
One of the things you'll notice tonight is there'll be a couple of songs we'll sing along with, like Pastor said. There'll be a lead-in title slide that'll tell you we're going to sing along with this one. I will tell you in advance, the first song that we're going to sing together will follow the melody that we start with. The verses of a couple of the verses are actually from different songs. So pay attention to the words, but listen to the melody to sing along. It actually fits. I think it'll be really neat, and it's a way we'll open up with that portion. So there'll be some narration followed by a song. Some will be videos. Some sit back, even though the words are running, just sit back and watch the video. We'll tell you the ones that we want to sing along with. And when we do sing along, why don't we stand and sing when we do those songs? Okay? We ready? Okay. Lights. Kill the lights. Thank you.
Shadows are created when something obstructs a light source. We have all stood in shadows, longing for the warmth and radiance of the nearby light. In this hour, as we again navigate the rugged path to the cross, stepping in and out of the shadows of its sacred story, let us be reminded that Jesus is a light to all people that darkness cannot overcome. For it is in Christ alone that our hope is found. He is the source of everlasting light, our strength, and our song. Jesus Christ is our eternal hope in the shadows, leading to the cross.
Please rise and sing In Christ Alone. Again, pay attention to the words. This is the one where we'll follow the In Christ Alone melody, and we'll sing the words that show up on the screen. In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fields are still, when striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand. My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. Till on the cross as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied. For every sin on him was laid. Here in the death of Christ I live. When I survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died, my richest gain I count but loss, and pour contempt on all my pride. No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme of man can ever pluck me from his hand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I stand. Power of Christ I stand. The journey to the cross. Actually, you can be seated. I'm sorry. The journey to the cross actually begins with joyful celebration when Jesus entered into the city of Jerusalem. But the scene changed quickly. As Jesus and the disciples gathered to dine and celebrate the Passover, Jesus knew that there was a shadow in their midst. Even as he poured the wine, he knew that Judas was only hours away from betraying him. Even as he broke the bread, he knew that Peter would deny him 3 times that very evening. And even as they shared their last meal together, the shadow of betrayal was there, darkening that upper room.
After finishing the meal and singing a hymn together, Jesus and his disciples went to a place called Gethsemane, where he asked his friends to keep watch while he prayed. Alone, in the quiet shadows of the garden, Jesus struggled with the grim prospect of the fatal trial to come. He begged his Father to relieve him of his burden, but knew that there was no way he could be spared the agony of his destiny.
To see the King of heaven fall in anguish to his knees, the light and hope of all the world, now overwhelmed with grief. What nameless horrors must he see to cry out in the garden, oh, take this cup away from me, yet not my will, but yours, yet not my will, but yours. To know each friend will fall away and heaven's voice be still, for hell to have its vengeful day upon Golgotha's hill. No words describe the Savior's plight, to be by God forsaken, till wrath and love are satisfied, and every sin is paid, and every sin is paid. This wretched place, what kept him on this road? His love for Adam's cursed race, for every broken soul. No sin too slight to overlook, no crime too great to carry. All made golden this poison cup, and yet he drank it all. The Savior drank it all.
The road to the cross was marked by temptation and guilt. Jesus challenged his disciples to pray that they not fall into temptation. Yet for 30 pieces of silver, Judas was tempted to betray Jesus. To save himself, Peter was tempted to deny that he knew his teacher and friend. These are so many instances foreshadowed the words of Jesus soon to be spoken upon the cross. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Before have a strong and perfect plea, a great high priest whose name is love, whoever lives and pleads for me. My name is graven on his hands, my name is written on his heart. I know that while in heaven he stands, no tongue can bid me thence depart. No tongue can bid me thence depart. When Satan tempts me to despair and tells me of the guilt within, upward I look and see him there, who made an end to all my sin. Because the sinless Savior died, my sinful soul is counted free, for God the just is satisfied to look on him and pardon me, to look on him and pardon me.
Jesus was arrested and taken before the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, where he was accused by the priests and elders. He made no attempt to defend himself, and Pilate handed him over to the angry crowd to be executed. They mocked Jesus by making him wear a purple robe and a crown made of thorns. Pilate, painfully aware of the monumental injustice that had been done, washed his hands and declared himself innocent of Jesus' blood.
A crown of thorn, a wreath
mocked, falsely accused, beaten, and sentenced to death. Jesus, the tangible expression of God's great love, was nailed to the cross between two robbers to die a criminal's crucifixion. In a final act of love, Jesus humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even death on a cross. Please stand as we sing Beneath the Cross of Jesus. Beneath the cross of Jesus, I fain would take my stand. The shadow of a mighty rock within a weary land. A home within the wilderness, a rest upon the way. From the burning of the noontide heat and the burden of the day. Upon the cross of Jesus, my eye at times can see the very dying form of one who suffered there for me. And from my smitten heart with tears, a rest upon the way, the wonders of redeeming love and my unworthiness. I take across thy shadow for my abiding place. I ask no other sunshine than the sunshine of his face. Content to let the world go by, to know no gain or loss. My sinful self, my only shame, my glory, all the cross.
It was now about the 6th hour, and darkness came over the whole land. The curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Father, into your hand I commit my spirit." When he had said this, he breathed his last. Greater love has no one than this, that one lay down his life for his friends.
For our next song, this will be with a video.
How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that He should give His only Son and make a wretch His treasure. How great the pain of searing loss, the Father turns His face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to glory. Be sin upon his shoulders. Ashamed, I hear my mocking voice call out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has brought me life. I know that it is finished. I will not boast in anything, no gifts, no power, no wisdom, but I will boast in Jesus Christ, his death and resurrection. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart: his wounds have paid my ransom. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart: his wounds have paid my ransom.
When the centurion saw all that had happened to Jesus as Jesus died, he exclaimed, "Surely this was the Son of God." As evening approached, a man from Arimathea named Joseph, having received permission from Pilate, came and took the body off the cross. He wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and placed it in his own tomb that he had cut out from the rock. The words of Isaiah had been fulfilled on the cross that day. He was pierced for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us this place was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed.
Oh, to see the dawn of the darkest day, Christ on the road to Calvary, tried by sinful men, torn and beaten then, nailed to a cross of wood. This the power of the cross. Christ became sin for us, took the blame, bore the wrath. We stand forgiven at the cross. Oh,
daylight flees, now the ground beneath quakes as its maker bows his head. Curtain torn in two, dead are raised to life, finished the victory cry. This the power of the cross. Christ became sin for us, took the blame, bore the wrath. We stand forgiven at the cross. Oh, to see my name written in the wounds, for through your suffering I am free. Death is crushed today, life is mine to live. Walk through your selfless love. This the power of the cross. Son of God, slain for us. What a love, what a cause. We stand forgiven at the
We stand forgiven at the cross. The gift of life made available to us because of the death of Christ brings hope into the shadows of our lives, light into our dark world. So let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and who now sits at the right hand of the throne of God.
When I survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died, my richest gain I count but loss, and pour content on all my pride. See from his head, his hands, his feet, sorrow and love flow mingled down. Did e'er such love love and sorrow meet, or thorns compose so rich a crown. Were the whole realm of nature mine, that were a present far too small. Love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life.